when did you fall in love with like women in hip hop? Hello, everybody. Happy
Gang, gang.
New Year. It's
Let's go.
2022. We're about to do big things.
Big shit popping.
Big shit popping.
Real hot girl shit.
Real hot girl shit. And that song that you just heard was My Bitches by Day Sulan. And this was actually Mariah's pick for.
So yeah, Mariah, explain this song a little bit more.
Yeah, how did you find this?
Okay, so I got a new phone recently.
Yay.
I got an iPhone 11, and so I switched companies from AT&T to Verizon. And so when I switched companies, they gave me a free phone, and then they were like, you can also have 6 months free of Apple Music. So
wait, pause the story. You said you switched to Verizon?
Yeah.
Interesting, because most people leave Verizon, but keep going.
I've been an AT&T customer for 10 years. Was not worth it. It was not worth being an AT&T.
You can't be loyal to these people.
No loyalty, but Verizon has, apparently better service and better stuff, and I got a free phone, and I got free Apple Music for 6 months. Do I really care for Apple Music? No. However, when I'm like,
I have Apple Music.
I'm like, I know you do.
Yeah, you're the only one. It sucks.
But
I know.
But it was free. But it was free, so I'm like, okay, I'm
right.
whatever. I'm gonna use it because it's free. And I was just like they made me a mix, and they asked me like what kind of artists I like. So they made me a mix, and it came on my mix, and I was like, why have I never like listened to this? And this song came on my mix, and I was like, I like this. I don't know who Day Sulan is. Before this, like, but I think I knew that she was like signed to like YG's record label, but I don't think I ever like set out like intentionally, or rather like to listen to her music. So that's how I came up on this song. It just came on my shuffle, and I didn't like press next because I try and be informed. Like, we come on here and talk to y'all about being informed. I gotta practice what I preach, so I listen to the song.
Sure.
I really like it. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I like it. It's
cute.
It's
I
very
like
West
these
Coast.
friend songs.
Yeah,
it's very West Coast, and it's like a very me and my bitches.
Me and my
that is the title.
My bitches.
I like the friend songs.
Yeah,
like like best friend and stuff
right?
Like that.
Because it's like it makes you feel good, doesn't it? Like make you reminisce for those days when it would be you and your friends getting ready,
it's cute.
Getting ready to go out. Y'all are about to.
I miss the club.
Pre-gaming. I miss the summertime. Okay.
Exactly. We can go back to the summer. Girl, you live in hold on. You live in the summer.
It's cold, okay? It's cold right now, Shermie.
60?
Actually, I don't know what it is today.
Because it's not cold. That's
excuse me, it's 52 degrees right now. So okay, y'all can fucking relax. Okay, because bitch, I had the heat on last night. I was freezing.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Right. I was like,
y'all not gonna shame me. Y'all not gonna shame me. I have not. Nope. I have not lived in Chicago in 5 years. Okay.
But didn't you went to school in Philadelphia? Don't it get cold in
Philadelphia?
Okay, and I haven't lived in Philadelphia in years again. And
I don't know. This is sounding like a lot of cap, but we can
move out to LA for 2 days, and then they just think.
You know what? I've lived in LA for almost 3 years, so
that's 2 days.
You know what?
In real time.
I cannot believe I come here and I'm being attacked.
No, but if you want another song to listen to from Day Sulan, her and Ruby Rose have a song. I think it's called Big.
Okay. And I'm on the Ruby Rose train now. So
I'm about to say. So I was like, okay, try that one out next.
Definitely. But what's up with y'all? How was the new year? How was the little break? How's everything?
Winter break was great.
How you doing?
Winter break was cool. I think that I never appreciated just being still for so long. Just spending time with quality with family and stuff like that, and like I don't know, not doing too much. Like even New Year's, like just hung out in the house with like my family, and we like cooked a meal and like watched the ball drop, and I was like, this was like just enough. So I had a good time.
That's so good. Yeah, I'm glad.
My winter break was terrible.
No, not terrible. I can't stand you. She always comes with some bad news.
No, so I had the stomach flu.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
So I was out bad, but I do agree on the quality time part. That shit was fun. But I had the stomach flu for like 2 weeks.
Oh no,
2 weeks.
So I was just out bad. So what happened was so my mom and them, they didn't cook for Christmas, but we had, for Thanksgiving, my aunt made us a big pan of macaroni and cheese. Mind you, I'm the only one that eats it, so like we froze the rest of it.
Right.
So we unfroze it for.
You froze mac and cheese?
Yeah.
Can you do that? I've never
people freeze everything. My mom froze a sweet potato pie.
I've never heard of freezing mac and cheese like with dairy ingredients though. That's I don't know.
Long story short, we unfroze it, and then like the next day, my stomach was like, we were not friends. And so I thought I had COVID because like I couldn't. I was thinking everything is COVID at this point. Like, I can't move and my stomach was hurt. And I was like, yo, I might have COVID. I had to take an at-home test. Like, it was a mess, but I'm better now. We're good. Yay.
Good. I'm glad. I'm very glad that you're feeling better. That does sound terrible. My birthday was
what have you been up to?
Honestly, like same thing, pretty much just like chilling and relaxing. I didn't go home for Christmas. But I had a really good time, like just like being alone. Like I spent a lot of time alone in the past couple of weeks, and it's felt so good, like to spend all that time with me, and do a lot of things. I'm getting really back into like my fitness and health shit. So I'm at the gym again. I started lifting.
Love that.
I'm doing a lot of things, and I'm really like trying to prep for my vacation to Mexico in 2 months.
I'm gonna say you about to go to Mexico.
So again, we're trying to find a sugar daddy for the summer. So
right, put the team on.
Gotta put the team on. Yeah, I'm pretty like feeling chill. Like I was telling Shermy earlier, like I got my period today, so I got my period yesterday, but
tomatoes.
But honestly, like I was telling Shermy, it's the first time I've gotten my period since October. So I guess it's yeah. So it's kind of like very good.
Congratulations.
Exactly. We dodged a bullet there because it was touch and go for a while.
It'd be touch and go.
It was touch and go for a while, and I was like,
I said she wanted to start the new year with the bang.
I was like, now wait a minute. Do I need to go? So I went to Planned Parenthood, and I was like, just to be sure.
Just keeping things.
Just to be sure. Ain't nothing up in there, right? Because we ain't got no room in this crib for no cribs, okay? For nobody else.
Not no room in the inn, okay, Jesus.
No, and we ain't got no rooms at the inn, okay? I'm sorry, I'm turning him away. I'm sorry.
I'm blocking my blessings.
Hell yeah. I don't need it dependent on my taxes, okay? I'll take whatever they give me.
Right, I'm dependent on me.
On me. But so that's that. So let's get into some hot topics here, everybody. We know y'all missed us and missed that, and there hasn't been a lot of mess, or wasn't at the end of the year.
That's really good.
But things are heating up again. We have to talk about, and I hate to talk about men. I really fucking do, especially ugly ass niggas. But
irrelevant ones,
ugly ass niggas, dusty, crusty ones. The ugliest niggas you have ever seen.
Why do they exist?
Niggas always want to start a podcast, and I say this as people who have a podcast, but why don't y'all just go to therapy instead? How about that? So,
my goodness.
So Asian Doll recently walked out of a recording for a podcast of the Fresh and Fit podcast with two ugly ass, misogynistic, black men because they were insulting her. Like I watched that video and
it was uncomfortable.
And I think, and I don't even like the way that it's like
set up.
Yeah, the setup of
it makes you
terrible.
It makes you.
I'm like, who are these people? Like, how are you all connected?
And it makes you feel a little bit trapped. Like I'm watching it, and it feels like those women are like these men
that's
are sitting
the
on me.
purpose.
I'm sure.
From what I've seen, people watch that show to watch them harass women and like kick women out,
really?
and like people like to see that.
And it just pissed me off. But you know what? She got up and she was like being like they were disrespecting her, talking about like, oh, I don't need to know. I like King Von. I don't need to know his bitch or anything like that. Like, and I was like, now see, she better.
First of all, she's her own person. She better than aside me. From him.
She better than me. She better than me because I would have jumped across that motherfucking table.
You wanna know what it was? She saw that she was nominated for our "Where's Your Publicist" category,
and she said, "Not again."
She said,
"Not again."
Together.
She said, "Not
again."
It's
a new year, new me.
And she has. It is a new year. She just got a new distribution deal for her music. She's talking about how in 2022 she wants to go mainstream, and I think it shows incredible growth. That she said, this is not a situation that's serving me, and I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna leave. Because listen, you can say a lot of shit about Asian Doll,
but you can't say she can't rap.
Can never say she can't rap.
She's a lot of things.
She's a lot of things. But a bad rapper is not one.
Not one.
Okay.
I really
that flow
think
is
that
crazy.
They thought that they would get like a viral moment and like people would be
on their side
because the internet drags Asian Doll. But to be fair, they drag her for good reasons. Like she be doing some weird shit, so it'd be worth it the drags that she be getting. This one, it just made absolutely no sense.
None.
Like, there was really no purpose for it. And I'm gonna be honest, if you have a podcast and you got 10 people in the room, why do you think side conversation's not gonna happen? I'm so sorry. Like, why is there 10 people there?
And then on top of that, who is like bringing and I hate this is why I do not care. I do not care for men's opinions about hip hop. This is why I just don't give a fuck. Because it's like who brings someone onto their podcast to just like shit on them and make them feel bad about themselves, like on a person to person level. What happened to you? Why are you so hurt? Why do you hate yourself so much that you need to bring other people down like that? Like, you invited her as a guest onto your show.
She took time
out of her schedule to come onto the show, and you just shit on her the whole time and make her feel bad.
But that's the fuck out of podcast to do. Honestly,
get the fuck out of here.
I'm with you, Mariah. I want all podcasts gone, even if that means Where My Girls At gotta be a fallen soldier in the war. I'll take the L for all of them to leave.
The thing is,
I will take the L. I will take
this reminds me of that tweet. It was like, who's the messiest person you know? I bet it's a man.
And it is. And it is.
Always will be.
It always will be. Because niggas ain't shit. Okay?
In conclusion.
They ain't the true Real Housewives.
No, okay? No. But listen, why were the men on Real Housewives of Atlanta always the messiest? Patricia?
I'm about to say, Mr. Peter Gunn. I mean, what's not saying not Gunn?
But listen,
he was messy.
If you want to
talk
about it,
is messy too.
So. But if you want to talk about it, exactly. So then moving on. So 1501, which I don't like. They just got bought out, actually.
Yeah, I thought they got bought out.
I don't think it was 1501 who got bought out. I think it's 300 who got bought out.
Right. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're right.
So different. 1501 is. I think Megan is still signed to them.
Megan, okay, so I was trying to understand the layers to this.
Yeah.
Megan is signed to them as a recorded artist.
Yeah.
But 300 is her distribution.
Okay.
Now, what does that mean? I have no clue. I guess they just distribute the music.
Yeah.
I guess that's what that means.
Yeah. Sure.
This is so complicated.
Yeah, it is.
It's so complicated.
But they
wrong.
have a new artist. They have a new artist. Her name is
Martina.
Is that just it? Martina Marie. And now she's doing car freestyles over Megan's song.
Car freestyles.
Like, okay, but that's what she was. She was sitting in the car.
It was.
You're right. it was so funny, like just watching this though. First of all, I did not like the freestyle. And maybe I'm biased because obviously I'm a Meg Thee
I
Stallion
mean, I
fan,
thought it was
but like
good, but I just think the whole situation that they're putting her in, like
It's
I feel
stupid.
like
they're trying to
the po-
build up this feud, but it's not working because Megan is
yeah,
not going to
they're miles
engage.
away. They're miles
The
away from each
it
other in terms of
where
like
they
being able
are,
to interact.
yeah.
Yeah, to interact. So it's like it doesn't even make sense. But I don't know.
And
I did not
she's
like the
calling herself
freestyle.
Martina Snow. And
Uh,
I understand wanting to capitalize off of someone else's like, thing that worked really
I
well
don't.
for them.
you're using the blueprint.
I'm not saying I would do it. I'm saying I see how someone could be like, oh, that worked for her. She's
Right.
from where I'm from. I got
Mhm.
bars too. Let's see if it works for
Mhm.
me. But I think what you're missing is like the charisma, the
Right.
real oomph behind like what Megan does and how committed she is to being Tina Snow. And
Yeah.
you put on the costume or you get in the car and you freestyle and it's like and that's it. And boom, you're gonna have this feud with Megan and her fans, and they're gonna listen to your music, and it's gonna be a whole Nicki and Cardi situation because as much as you want to say maybe it didn't, that really helped Cardi, in her career in 2018, having
I feel like
that
mm,
energy behind her. But it's just like I feel like we're in a place in music where we're past that. And where I
mhm.
feel like right now, especially for women in rap, it's more about camaraderie and sisterhood than it is about like all these bitches my sons or you know um there can only be one. Like I don't feel that anymore. So I was looking at the comments underneath this and it just made me realize how much like the internet hates Megan.
Oh yeah, they do.
They
It's weird.
Mm.
and
It's getting really weird.
it's the men on the internet who hate Megan that are like, "Oh, this is fire, this is fire." And I'm like, "Does no one realize how weird this is? Does
They
no
don't
one
care.
realize
They
how weird
don't
this
care.
is? They want anything to like tear her down and it's ridiculous." So, I mean, I don't know if I can support Miss Martina Marie unless she
I
gets her own
mean,
gimmick. Like cuz
that's the thing. So as I'm thinking about 1501 and the women that they have,
Mhm.
Megan, Eric, like they did the same thing or attempted to do the same thing with Erica. Now with Martina. The only thing I could really say, so I'm gonna say this: I'm not above a beef. However,
no, of course not.
I'm here for a beef that's like genuinely,
Like
yeah,
cordial.
like it's a genuine like, yeah, I'm really beefing with you, not like I'm signed to this label. This label hates you. Every time they get a woman artist, they do the same. They try to do the same thing, beef with Megan, while using the same tactics, I guess you can say, that they use to help Megan build herself, and then like try to separate them. So like now as you look at like Erica Banks, you people will rarely bring up Megan compared to when they did in the beginning. And I'm happy that she was able to get away from that
Because
and
she's
like really start,
talented.
I'm gonna say it really
Mhm.
starts to make her own identity, because now we can actually just see her as an artist and
Yeah.
see her grow on her own. I really think what the problem is with 1501 is they only have one. Honestly, it's not just 1501, just anyone who signs women in general. They only have one way to market women, and they only know that way to get them out there. They don't know anything else, which is why I think a lot of these girls honestly need to stop getting these deals, because like it's not going to work in your favor in the end, because they're copying, like they're just doing copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. No one is putting no actual attention into you and like trying to make you grow as a person. They're just doing what they already saw and are like, okay, as to compare with male artists, they'll put the attention to like fit their aesthetic or like fit what they are and like find that target audience and put in the work for them to grow as a person. As to where the girls, they can only grow in one way. So it's like they got to stop at some point. Like they got to figure it out.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And it's like moving on to like the next thing, not moving on, but just like looping that in with
Yeah.
Issa Rae, because now Issa Rae has her record label Radio with Warner Brothers, and she's talking about how like
Mhm.
the music industry is the worst industry she has
Right.
ever worked in. It's so archaic and it's villainous almost, and how the people are petty and it's like a lot of like what these artists like go through publicly when they're calling these people out is the type of stuff that Issa Rae is calling out in this interview that she did talking about the music industry. And if anybody can fix it, Issa can. But we don't want to put that all on her. We
can't put it on her like that.
I'm sure it's not shocking to like think of an industry or see an industry as exploitative and stuff like that, because that's just the world that we live in.
Yeah.
But for her to, at least in this article, present as being like super shocked about it,
right?
It's clearly way worse than
what we even know.
Yeah, it's people who like will probably, who knows if we'll ever do anything in the music industry to fully get the inside. But it must clearly be way worse than what we just think about, like this petty deal that Megan has with her
like
her record label.
Who really knows how deep this shit runs? You know what I mean? Like there are a select few who get in and really know how deep this shit really is. So it's crazy.
And is there opportunity to change the industry too? Because like I think about like monopolies of like how people own things. And
yeah, they're like
people are at the top of these record labels.
Companies like what? There's Sony, who owns like what?
No, exactly.
Like there are only a few, and then they. Like, yeah, so at the point,
And the fact that, and I was going to say, like, and the fact that, like, Issa, like, signed to Warner Brothers, like, great, she has her own record label, but it's, like, how much can, like, one entity change the game of things, you know what I mean? Like, there's still, like, a system and a whole industry that is, like,
they'll be breaking
built,
it down forever.
Like, yeah, they're going to be breaking it down forever, you know?
Built on, breaking down, Black people and things like that. Like, not to bring up again men, but it just makes me think of how like all the time, and it's like kind of the same thing that happened with like Bobby Shmurda, the same thing that's happening right now with like Pooh Shiesty, where it's like they'll bring these kids, because they are kids, out of like nowhere, out of the hood, out of wherever they come from, give them a really big hit, then all of a sudden they get hit with a charge. Everybody getting caught up going to Rolling Loud to work. Drakeo the Ruler got killed at Rolling Loud, just going to work. These young kids, they give them these like probably terrible, like one-off, like we'll give you this amount of money. These kids ain't never seen that amount of money in their life. Then the next thing you know, they have the biggest song of the summer, the biggest song of the whatever. Then 2 months later, they in jail. And now they facing life.
Right, it was like all that hard work for what?
You don't think that's suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Okay, come on, Dr. Umar.
No, but you don't find that suspicious though? Like I hate to be a conspiracy theorist, but you're not
going to jail like hella fast now.
But you're not gonna tell me that somebody at Rolling Loud is not working for the feds. Like I hate to be that person, but that I just would never go there, because it just seems like these niggas is the feds. Because why is somebody always getting arrested at Rolling Loud? Why is niggas getting killed? Why is niggas getting killed at a fucking music festival? I came here to perform, to work. This is my job. And you allow somebody in with a knife to stab me? Please.
Yeah.
Please. You ain't telling me that this shit is not happening. Like it's not, I don't think things are coincidence.
So, it's been a little crazy. But back to the article, I do want to kind of highlight some things that she did. Yeah. I guess some positives. Okay. Since we started with, her calling out the industry. They asked her a question about Insecure soundtrack and how like it incorporates a lot of women in hip hop and R&B, and they asked her if she felt inspired, and she said she doesn't really feel inspired by it, because although Insecure soundtrack has like put a lot of women on, and it's kind of, I guess you can say, one of the first shows to start using women like heavily in their
consistently
too. In their in the show. But she was saying like how it's really kind of only one sound that really blossoms, and you can tell like by award shows and stuff like that. But she is grateful for the fact that her music producer, I want to believe his name is Kerry, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, he was willing to take a chance and like really like put in the work to get these artists to bloom. So I'm really excited for that. They talk about that in the documentary too, if you all watch that, about how they were able to, even just not on the music side, like just how they were just to get things done and like really work in the community and really try to get these artists out there, as well as like the actresses and the
Mm-hmm.
producers and writers that they've had on there. So when people try to downplay Insecure, you can't downplay it.
Yeah.
You may not like it, but like you can't talk about the impact that it has had on Hollywood and just outside.
Yeah, I am on season 5 now of Insecure. So I am basically all caught up. I'm not finished yet. But I'm working my way there. And, I like it. It's like very good. I don't get what people say about like, it not being like the episodes not being long enough. I think they are perfectly like,
we're just greedy.
Yeah, y'all.
No, yeah, I was like, we're just being greedy. But it's like also the experience. It's also the experience, I think, when you were watching it like live, like the engagement from like Twitter and stuff like that. Like you love the banter that happened from it. So
I'm sure. And I saw all of that, but I wasn't actively engaged in that. But moving on, so Remy Ma is launching an all-women battle rap league. Now, I feel like battle rap is always one of those spaces, and it's crazy. Thinking of people like Roxanne Shante and like that. But battle rap, I feel like, is a space that has not always been so inclusive of women. Like when you learn about like all these like big battle rap like competitions and things like that, like very rarely are there women included in it. But I think that it's a space that could like there's so much room for like them to dominate. So I think it's so interesting that this is like where Remy Ma is headed, like with her career, and I'm excited to see like what it would look like. I don't know, but she definitely gives me that energy. I don't think she did.
Because I wonder why feel like she chose battle rap, compared to like making her own label,
But I think that's like where she could shine. When I think about Remy Ma, I'm like battle rap is her thing because she doesn't really have any, she is no holds barred. Different. Yeah, definitely something different.
And I think like also the way that she's structuring I guess like the league and stuff like that, because in typical battle rap, like obviously like if you fuck up or if you like, mess up on your lines or whatever, you're kind of like mixed. And so I think being able to give the people their space to be able to be like, okay, I had a mess up, I can come back next time and be able to like still battle and not have like stain on my like rep, I guess, within this community. So I like the way that she has it set up. But I agree though, but like with women in the battle rap like scene with men and stuff like that, it's like they have to be 100% perfect. Like they have to be flawless with their delivery, their flow, their lyrics, because it's like everything is getting examined with like a microscope. So I think that this will be a good opportunity for like women to be able to have the space to be able to like try different things and not be penalized by like a larger crowd.
And I also think it's a good space to work on your skills. We don't if we're talking about how we want women to stop, and I use quotes when I say this, sounding the same, then we need to make space for people to grow into this kind of thing. And I think battle rap is great because a lot of great rappers have come out of that space and have like with incredible like differences in their sound. So I'm very excited to see what kind of rap battles are we gonna see? What is this
what
platform? What artists are gonna come out of it? What's gonna happen? I think it's really exciting. So congratulations to Remy Ma, and congratulations to Remy Ma on getting a full-time role on the show Queens, because Eve is having a baby and has to leave the show. Now, I'll be honest, I have not watched Queens. I'm behind.
So behind my mom watch it.
Okay, go ahead, take over.
It is drama, baby. Like they have been shot.
Not shot.
Is this like Tyler Perry-esque?
No, please don't say that.
No, because at least it gives you the background.
It gives like real like content. Okay.
It gives content for it. I mean, the context for it.
Context, yeah.
So right now, where they are at in the show last week, well, by the time you all got hear this episode, it'll be 2 episodes from the new year. So Eva's gone, and I guess spoilers, she was the one who got shot, and they tried to play it off as if like she died, but at the end of the episode, like we see that she doesn't die. And now what they're doing actually on the show is that the rap group, the girls, the Nasty Bitches, they're creating their own label. So Remy
Love
Ma is
it.
like gonna be the first artist that they sign and stuff.
Love
So
it.
I think this is gonna be interesting to watch and see how it like correlates with what's going on in the real world, because Bali Baby has her label, her all female
Yes.
label, and then like Remy Ma's doing this all women battle rap. So it's interesting to see when they like touch on things, like they touch a little bit on like colorism, and why like the Latino girl had to come in. So they've kind of given small insights as to what be going on and what like we already know. But
Yeah.
I like how it can like you can correlate it to real life.
It mirrors to real life.
The real music industry. So
good. That's
excited
really
for
good.
Remy. Also excited for Eve. Sad she had to go, but
she's having a baby.
Yeah, congratulations.
Congratulations to her and her white husband. On their little bundle of joy. Okay, so the next thing, so Lil Kim and Missy Elliott are on the member of the XXL Awards board. Now, what
this
is
one
the
I'm really
XXL?
excited about.
What is this? I don't know what the XXL
I'll give
awards
more
are.
context. So basically, the double XL is coming back with an award show. There won't be
How convenient! How convenient! After our award show, now
they saw ours, and then they were like, "We got to do our own now."
Let's see what these categories are. Do we need to copyright some things?
So there for this year there won't be an actual award show. I'm assuming they're just gonna like announce the winners and stuff on their platforms or whatever. We don't know what the categories are, and we don't know who's nominated in these categories. But what I will say, and like what makes me excited about this, is that so there's a big board that they have, and to me, I think it's a good mixture of different types of people in the music industry.
Yeah, I was looking through it. There's a lot of different types of people,
and there's a lot of women who are like on the behind the scenes part of
and that's what I was gonna say. That's what I was gonna say. That's so good. I was looking at that.
So that's like what's really exciting to me. So outside of Lil Kim and Missy, there are some other names that you all will probably know: Angela Yee, Angie Martinez, Mona Young, Mona Scott Young. But there are also some women who like I just like look to see like who they are and what they do. Didn't know that a woman was the president of QC.
Yes, I did know that actually, low key. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
so it was good to find out that. There's like a couple A&R people from like 300.
Right.
Yeah, there's a lot of quote unquote heavy hitters amongst the women. And like if you click on if y'all go to the link and like look at it.
Yeah.
If you click on their
profile, there's more descriptions.
It has a little description and stuff and like where they come from, what they've done, and I guess that was like the most interesting part for me because like those are kind of the people who I really want to talk to and see like what it looks like in the background. What does that work look like being a part of the Migos bringing out Culture 3, the album, and just seeing how Culture 3 just like was such a big thing and the woman was the marketer behind that. Like what is that process? I want to see what they bring to this award show. Like I like yes, it's good that there are a lot of women on there, but will the women get nominated? Will they get considered in these categories? Even like queer artists, are they gonna get considered and be recognized in these categories? So I'm interested to see like what they bring and like what they actually stand for while being on this board. So I'm excited for this.
I'm excited too. You just got me more excited.
Same.
Yeah. So Dream Doll was on what is this? Angela Yee's show?
Angela Yee.
Yeah, Angela Yee's. Yeah.
She's on Lip Service with Angela Yee, and she was talking about surgery and how everybody's talking about how like the BBL era is over. Like the Kardashians are taking out their butt implants, and now all the girls want to reverse their shit. Don't agree with that. But I think it's interesting. Here's my.
The BBLs aren't dying ever.
No, not at all. But here's my thing that I think, because she was talking about how she wants a more natural body, but it's a much more difficult process.
I have thoughts on using the word natural body, but
yeah.
Yeah.
She says it's a difficult process to take out the BBL or the butt implants. Like you have to go through stages, and she says she's had 4 different surgeries to make it look more natural, quote unquote. And that's like she says it's a very difficult process and it's painful. And I'm like, I'm sure. And you know, we've talked about a lot about like the ideal body type or what a woman in rap has to look like in order to make it. Um, and here's what I think about Dream Doll and what she's doing like right now. Because she just got this new record deal, you know, like
Woohoo.
before she well, wasn't it with Warner?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. She got like
I had no
she
idea.
got a record deal. So she signed to like Warner Music Group or some one of their subsidiaries or something like that. Um, Everything I've been hearing from her lately is a lot better than the stuff I heard from Dream Doll in years past that made me think she wasn't serious about
Fendi
this.
facts.
Yeah, and that she was maybe, you know, just like wanted you know, to rap because it was cool and was actually just interested in like, you know, looking good and all this
Extra
stuff.
Fendi facts.
And think I think she is serious about music now. I think she's serious about rap. I think she's serious about her skills. I think she's serious about improving and about being an overall artist. And I think, you know, she's very young. And I think when she made this decision to get all this work done, there was a lot going on. You know, there's like you grow up in this era of social media and you're a person like Dream Doll who has this audience and this access. So you can make money off of going to get your body done. And you don't actually think of the long term effects of like, is someone gonna take me seriously as the kind of rapper I wanna be when I look this way? You know what I mean? When I've branded myself on looking this way, and I think she is in a place in her career where she wants to grow and where she wants to be taken seriously. And I think she thinks that she can't do that if she still is giving this, you know, quote unquote Instagram model, Fashion Nova model aesthetic and body type. You know, so
Oh, so you're saying that like because she did like the BBL look, you don't think that the music industry is taking her as
I think
seriously?
that's what she thinks. I'm
Okay.
not saying that that's the truth, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's what her thought process is, and I think
Mm.
her wanting to go back to her more natural body look is a part of this like rebrand that I think she's like going in the throes of right
He has to go on K Michelle's show. K
now.
Michelle has a show on Lifetime. Have you all seen
No, I
that?
have
It's like,
not.
Oh.
Why would I
oh,
watch it?
you know, I've been on a lot of Lifetime because of the holidays recently, so I've been
Oh,
seeing
you watch
her
holiday
advertise.
movies?
I do. I watched Merry Little Christmas with Kelly Rowland, all three
Oh God.
movies.
Not all
But yeah,
three. I didn't.
yes. But K Michelle has a show on there called like it's like going under the table, like our horror stories of like going through these transformations with their bodies. Um and obviously talks about like her experience with her implants and like the recovery process from that. But yeah, I don't know, like I I never thought about how like potentially I guess having this way of like looking like the BBL look would impact how potential like people would view me within the music industry, I
Well, when you
guess.
think
Or as
about
a
it,
potential knock.
if you think about it, especially in like this social media era and like people, I'll say people hate like the IG girls. Like they hate them for
They
whatever
They really
do,
reason.
and
do. They really
that's
do.
my thing,
You're
and
So
right.
that's what
like
I
it
was the
kind
point I
of
was making.
bleeds in. It kind of bleeds in. So when I first saw
Hmm.
her talk about this, I think we're on the same page, Mariah, but like I kind of saw it differently, not necessarily about the body type, but as soon as she was talking about getting her stuff removed, I was like, "Oh, baby, it's because you can't perform. Like
That too. That
you,
too.
you want to be potentially. You would like to get in a point where you're seen as a performer, not just someone who walks back and forth on the stage. You want to
Right,
give a
Like a
right.
whole
certain
show.
sweetie we know.
That's what I'm saying. And like I honestly did start thinking about Sweetie a little bit and how like every time she's performing, she can't breathe and she's huffing and puffing. We can't get a sentence out of her without a like it's
That's so
so
true.
I think what's happening is, and I think it's gonna happen to a lot of the girls, if they want to be seen as a performer, someone who does the dancing and have the big shows and, you know, really bring out the energy and who just doesn't walk back and forth. And I'm not against the walking back and forth. I think the girls can do that too. They're gonna have to get their health in check. Like,
exactly.
The table says flip. I know a lot of times when we just think about health in general, it's more about looking healthy and not actually being healthy, not actually,
that's so true,
putting in the work. Because I'm be honest, the IG rapper girls, they out popping bottles every day, eating shrimp and lobster.
Oh my God, terrible.
I'm going on a 2-day cleanse because I got a show next week.
What?
Baby, that 2-day cleanse is not gonna do nothing for you.
That's not how it works, baby. You just gonna be hungry and cranky.
Like, you're gonna be up there still looking a mess. So
Can't breathe.
I think a lot of the girls are taking their career a little bit more serious, and they're seeing,
and I think it's because they see it can happen for me. You know, look what can happen for me if I take it seriously.
And a lot of them do have the talent to actually put in some real work.
Exactly.
I'll be honest, even if you look at Megan, she made at least a real public health change.
Exactly.
Because in the beginning, she was Douce all day. Down the boat.
Yeah, driving the boat.
Next thing you know, Savage goes crazy and people want real shows from her.
Exactly.
She got a whole workout plan
going routine. On. She's on Nike right now.
Right. So I think what's happening is a lot of the girls are reverting because of their health. Like, they got to get their health in check if they really want to be seen as a performer and really start getting these daytime shows, these nighttime those performances and stuff, and they want them to be good and want them to be memorable. So
when this
no, I was just gonna say that shit that Doja Cat did at the VMAs where she was floating through the air and doing that.
No shade, you can't do that.
You can't do that if you're not rehearsing, baby. If you're not taking care of your body,
and you can't do that. If you're just coming off the table 3 days before.
You can't do that. It's not just a look. These people put in the work. Lizzo puts in the work. Okay, you can't be as good as Lizzo if you're not actually putting in the work and going to rehearse. Like, what did Beyonce say? She said people don't like to rehearse because it humbles them. You are not. It's not.
And it shows.
And it shows. It really shows who rehearses and who doesn't. I hate to pit them against each other, but it really does show who rehearses. And who doesn't.
I was gonna say Dream Doll kept saying going back to her natural body. So do you think that's going to be the new wave of things of natural, but in the sense of not even them themselves what they were naturally before, but it's them augmenting themselves to be what their image of what natural looks like, though?
No. And the only reason why I say no is because at the end of the day, this BBL look that became a thing, it's very natural to some Black women, because I hate to say that this is a Black woman thing. I'll say a majority. This is how people naturally look. So you can't really give this natural talk when some people naturally have the big, I'm just gonna say, have the big butt, the thighs, and so the only thing I could say is for at least Black women, I really think we as a whole just need to stop imitating white women, imitating us, because at the end of the day, we're gonna lose at the end. So how people are talking about how this natural body thing is coming back, basically a slimmer look is coming back or whatever.
When did being skinny ever go out of style?
I'm gonna say it never went out of style.
It never went out of style.
But also you're gonna lose in the end as a Black woman, because if your natural body was already built, then what? Now what? So true. This skinny going back in, the girls are still gonna have what people consider overly done BBLs and stuff like that. That's not gonna go anywhere, and the attention towards that is not gonna go anywhere. People say that to shame those who did get their bodies quote unquote overly done, and that shit ain't going nowhere. Sorry.
Not at all. Not at all. So, on to our main conversation. A conversation we've been talking about having for months now. Let's talk about albums. Let's talk about albums and albums.
50K for a verse, no album out.
And my money's so tall and my Barbie's gotta climb it.
The amount of times I say that randomly throughout the day, and then
it's equivalent to material girl.
Material girl. But yeah, talking about albums and album rollouts. So, Shami, why don't you tell us your thought process? Because this is like your idea. So tell us what your like thought process. What are your thoughts on albums in
Yeah,
today's
so
2022? What we know the music industry as.
when we were talking about topics, I thought albums was we all kind of thought albums was a good one to start with because it is the start of the new year. And, last year we didn't get that many women in rap albums. I would say we probably got a handful of 5, Lil Sims. She had a really good album. Megan Thee Stallion, Doja Cat. So we didn't really get that many. We got a couple mixtapes, but it wasn't as heavy as it was in like 2018, 2019 when the girls were just like dropping. They were dropping like crazy. So I really just wanted to have a conversation of like, how do you all see albums in the digital era? Do you see them the same way you did back in the day? What do albums mean to you in this time and space? And how do we all just kind of see albums moving forward? Like, are albums even important in this digital space where you could just drop music however you feel? So, let's have a conversation about that and just, yeah, we have some questions, we can go through those if anything else pops up. It's a conversation, basically.
No, I think about how I like view albums as like when I was growing up versus now, and I feel like it's remained the same. And I think a common thing that like based off of like some guiding questions that Jeremy provided is like I think it all comes back to like honesty and like artistry, and it's like it comes about telling your story, not faking about like your situations or like who you are, like being able to be reflective, whether that's on some like real deep shit of like going through a breakup or a situation you had growing up. I think being able to true back to that and see a progression through a, I would say like 12 to 15 track album, to be able to tell whatever story you give. I think it's unique to the artist because it's like I think there's definitely artists nowadays who don't care about like albums. They're just like I'm pushing something out, trying to put some streams up, whatever. But I think the artists who care, and you can see that within their rollout and also within like the success of the album.
Yeah, I think, people like to say that the art of like album making is lost because it's not the way that it used to be. But, like Brianna said, like I don't think it's ever going to truly be lost because there's always going to be a generation who is influenced by the last generation who still care about their artistry, who still care about storytelling, who still care about structure, who still care about weaving like this, creating a whole world around their album, who care about like building up the hype around an album they're really excited about. And I think a lot of people are just like, let me drop this picture on Instagram. This is who's going to be on the album, and then it comes out, and then I'm like reposting people posting about it, and that's it. But for some people,
Mm-hmm.
you'll see people like Doja Cat, like Lil Nas X. Why they're still promoting their shit? They're still promoting an album, still performing from that album because they put the work into it. There are people, who like their albums are always so anticipated, and their rollouts are always so anticipated, and they have people waiting for what are you gonna do? When are you gonna drop? What are you gonna do? How's it gonna look? People like Adele and Drake who do the big billboard thing, like let's build all this hype around what we're about to like release because we want people to be tuned in to what we're doing. Or like Cardi, when she and Meg released WAP and the whole rollout behind the way that happened of just building anticipation. I don't think we get that anymore because we live in, a time of instant gratification where people feel like they need it and they need it now, and then they care about it, boom, it's gone. But when it's good and it's really good, like niggas got hits that stick like grits. Like you not just gonna hit it and quit it. You keep going back to the ones that are good. You keep going back to the ones that you remember that
just
they
kind of going
ingrained
off
in
of that. Kind of going off your point about people who like continuously promote their work. You can tell when they believe in an album,
exactly,
and when they know that album is good, or when that project is good. When you see them still promoting it like a week after, when there's a real strategy behind them,
or when they're promoting different songs on it.
I'm gonna say when you can get more than one single,
one single. Like, come on,
not from the song, from the album, but
remember,
and they're performing it, and they're like still like 6 months in. I'm about to be on the VMAs, and guess what? Your girl's performing again. Kiss me more.
Like, and you know what? And you know what? And niggas still want to hear it. And you want to know why? Because every one of them performances of Say So was different.
Right, exactly.
Every one of those performances was different. Okay.
No, but I do also agree that, like, I think what happened in this digital era is that the marketing behind these albums is just lackluster, because I don't think people...
They are depending on the consumer.
They're depending on the internet and the consumer to do the work for them, and the gag is, even though these people got all these, like, nice fan pages and stuff like that, I'm not looking to be spammed. Like, exactly. That's the thing.
That's not how I do it.
I need to see you on a talk show. I need to see you perform.
I want to see the interview.
I want to see you on the cover of a magazine. I want to see it. Let's see it. Let's see you put in some effort. I want to see you out there putting in the hours. You want me to go stream that shit?
A team who's willing
you need
to
be
that.
Clocking. You need to be clocking those fucking hours. Okay?
And I think it's hard for the women in rap to continue to, like, all, at least on the board, continuously do that, because let's be real, the labels that they're signed to, how much do they believe in them? So, like, my example in my head is, I'm thinking City on Lock. City on Lock
that pissed me off.
Good album. City on Lock is so good. It's such... So to me, what's a good album, I guess I'll start there, is something that can, like, encapsulate who you are in that moment, in the era that you're in. So if, like, I go back to listen to it, I can truly be like, this was Doja Cat in the Hot Pink era. Like, this was it. Right. This tells the story of Doja Cat in Hot Pink. And this is how it's different from Doja Cat and Planet Her. Like, you can feel the growth, see the growth, see the differences, and just, like, see the changes for the better. Or even if it's for the worse, you can really tell an era change, a mood change. You on mute, Mariah. Right, you're on mute.
Shit, I'm on mute. I didn't know. I'm sorry. I was just agreeing with what you're saying, because for me, what makes a really good album is when I can tell people are trying to grow. When I hear in their music that their artistry has changed or their artistry is growing, I'm like, damn, I fuck with this. I fuck with a person who's, even if they were already good or already great, that they never stop, because you never stop being a student. Because
they never stopped improving. They always cared.
The industry is always changing.
Right.
People's consumer wants and needs are always changing. The world is always changing. So when you see people trying to be adaptable, and they really care about the music, and they really care about, them themselves, them as people, and their growth, I think they put that into a good album, and it lasts. And that's
life in general, right?
That's true.
Like, that's also true.
There's no one best version of yourself. There's just different versions of you.
Okay, now that was deep.
That was deep.
Kind of going back to City on Lock and how, like, they failed that.
Yeah, they failed. They failed them. They failed the City Girls so bad with that, and they're about to release a new album.
You have to question if they if these labels actually believed in them as, like, to be like true artists, not just how we were talking about drop a couple singles and keep it pushing. But, like, like, especially that one, I just feel like there was much...
It hurt, because it got leaked.
that could have been behind it. Like, PR that could have been behind it, so much. Marketing that could have been behind it, so much. Even, a little performance every now and then. They ain't the best performances, but we could have got...
But if they had the support, and like, they could be...
It could be, and as we going back to the XXL, if they had why wasn't Homegirl on their team, like, trying to push this out?
That's what I was about to say.
Advocating for them.
Like, who's doing all this shit for the Migos? Why can't you do that for City Girls? Isn't that the same label?
Right. So what's going on over there? Like, are the women over there kind of like, I guess, the stepping stool to get to, get the men going crazy, the Migos, Lil Baby?
Because Lil Baby has been going nuts.
Yeah.
For the past, year and a half, hasn't stopped. And that nigga has the machine behind him now. Because that nigga is on everybody's everything. And his shit is going crazy. Why
I don't
can't the
understand
city
how it's
girls
not
have
behind the City Girls and Lakia. Like, the
Why
talent is
can't they
already there.
have that?
The identity is already there. There's no more you need to
Exactly.
do with them. I mean, you can
then
help them with writing and stuff, but
And with the city girls especially, the fan base is there.
exactly. Like Lakia, yeah, she's still growing the fan base, but the City Girls are quite solid in their presence on the internet, at least.
That's true. That's true.
So yeah.
Well, what was the last album that you all listened to that was like a great album through and through?
Planet Her.
I believe that. If I were to say, like, because some people don't consider Planet Her like a full rap album, debatable.
Okay. No rap album is ever a full rap album.
That's the true statement.
Yeah, that's true.
But I would say outside of Planet Her, I would say the last album or project that I thought were really solid and really like showed the identity of that person in that era. Ho, Why's You Here? Flo Milli. I think that was such a great introduction to who
And there's
she was.
another person who got failed.
Yeah,
because that should have been it.
Yeah.
And for me, it was.
I mean,
for me,
as an album, it
went double. It went double platinum in my headphones.
In my house, that shit is diamond. Okay, because it's still getting played.
Yeah, I think that was another one that definitely should have got way more push. Such a good introduction to like what Flo Milli could do and who she was. But also, I think honestly, all of Young Baby Tate's projects, so like the Girl album and even After the Rain, I just think she does a really good job at just like capitalizing what energy, what feeling, what mood she wants to put in a project. Like, she does a good job at staying on track. The songs are like always fitting to whatever the project is about. So like, After the Rain was like about a breakup and sad, bouncing back, and we got those different songs with it. The Girl project was just all about different types of girls, and like it was fun, it was flirty, I just think she's just so good at what she does in general.
No, I agree.
And then when you put it in like project setting or project mode, she just really knows how to capitalize whatever she wants to capitalize.
You know another one that I think of now that you say that that was really good. Rico Nasty's Anger Management with I think that was her and Kenny Beats technically an album, but Anger Management was amazing. Nightmare Vacation, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really care for, but Anger Management, I think through and through that whole album was like, it's incredible, and it's crazy because it's less than 20 minutes. But the whole album, front to back, and I think the way that they chose like the feature would like to have Earth Gang on it, and it was like, and I love big titties.
I know, but that's another thing about albums too. Like, you make sure your features aren't just like, oh, here's a big name. Like, you actually
random,
and even Nasty, even Rico Nasty's Nasty.
I was gonna say Nasty's album was gonna be mine, but also Tina Snow.
Oh fuck yeah!
That album.
Oh yeah!
Fuck
front to back. Front to back?
Fuck yeah. When I first heard Tina Snow, bitch, it was over.
I was like, what is this?
It was over.
No skips. No skips.
I was instantly like, who is this bitch? And it was over. Like, legit, it was a moment.
Right, that's what an album should do. An album should really be a moment.
It should stamp
and
it
should be your stamp of who you are.
And you know what? Right. When I think of Invasion of Privacy, when I think of that album, I feel like before that came out, I had my doubts about what Cardi B would. I had my doubts about her ability to be more than just a features artist, to be more than just a singles artist.
I agree.
To be more than just like an Instagram turned rapper. When that album came out, it erased all doubts in my mind.
You felt the heart and you felt the soul, like,
and you felt her hunger.
Exactly, honest.
It was honest. It was hungry, and it was worth the wait. She was nervous about releasing it, and I get why, because it was ambitious.
It really was, especially at that time, to be someone
with everything that was going on. Shit, hell yeah, hell yeah.
Instagram star, and like, I guess I would say I didn't necessarily think Cardi B would be who she is now.
I don't think anybody did.
I did kind of see like, oh yeah, she might do a little something here and there, But yeah, if you think about like back in the day, girl, that ain't nothing but like 2017.
It's like what, 2016?
2016. Oh, Jesus
2016?
Christ.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Or no, something like that.
Okay. Just to even think to be like a rapper, I'm sorry, an Instagram person who just like makes people laugh to put out something as serious. I would say this is the one time where I like agree with the idea of like, I'm proving y'all niggas wrong. Because, you know,
Exactly.
I hate I'm proving men. I want to prove the men. I want the men to like me. This is the one time where I'm like, this was a reason to do it. This was the purpose to actually want to prove yourself, quote unquote, to men. Like this delivered far beyond your, I just want men to like me as a rapper and seen as hard and get the mail approval. Like, fuck that. But this one was like, we really doing something with this.
Wait, so let's turn it to negativity. What was the last worst album you listened to?
Y'all already know my answer.
I was gonna say Queen.
Girl,
mine's Good Day. Good news. I said Good Day. Good news.
Oh, I'm like, what? Oh, yeah.
And you want to know something? This is going to go into a question as well. I really hate that this being like her first album, because I just really don't. I'm be honest, I don't think Megan, this might be a hot take, truly has, this is going to sound bad, a musical identity as a mainstream artist just yet. And I feel a lot of that is because of the record label, whatever. But I just feel like you can tell from that album, because it was just kind of
all over the place. It was all over the place.
I think because of the success of Savage and her just being like, it was more of a bum rush into the mainstream, not like a gradual growth. We didn't fully get what a first album is supposed to do and how it's supposed to introduce you into the mainstream, if that's like what your first,
and I
if
think
that's your first
she
time
knows
your
that. Album. I feel like she had to know that, you know.
Yeah, but like, do y'all think we get albums like that well, we don't. Well, I'm not gonna answer it, but do y'all think we get albums where like it's their introduction to the mainstream, if that makes sense? Or like their album being an introduction in general? Do y'all think we get that?
Well, yeah, because I think that's what Invasion of Privacy was.
I was about to say Invasion of Privacy. I was like, I'm trying to think like purposefully or not though. Like, I
think
I was gonna say also Pink. Fever. I was gonna say Fever.
See, but I don't agree with that, because I don't think Fever was what that was. I think Fever, it was like they were capitalizing on like Tina Snow, which had just gone, which had just like had like a really big moment, like a whole year after it got released. And then that's when we, learned about Fever and it was coming out. And I think it was much bigger in the streets than it was on the charts.
On the main
Yeah, you know what I mean? So I think I think in our circles, it was like, yeah, Fever, this, that. But in reality...
Right, to the public,
So, the only reason why I asked about... Well, because I think some of those, like, people consider EP, like, people be real heavy on, like, this is an EP, not an album. Like, I don't get the difference, but... whatever.
Me either.
But the only reason why I'm thinking about it is because as we are in the digital space and you can just put music out as you feel freely, I would say like back in the day when like music had to come out on a CD, like the album was the first introduction to someone, more or less. Like you may have got a few singles here or there, but like it was the first real collective of them like putting themselves out there and putting their music out there, as to where now I get a whole bunch of singles from someone that could potentially look like an album, and then by the time a project actually comes, or when it's time to make something, there hasn't been time to actually really like formulate your identity or figure out like what musically works for you, what doesn't, your trial and error. I guess because we see people grow compared to back in the day, we didn't see them grow. Like we saw the hard work already done. It's kind of hard to get solid projects.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
They're constantly testing. No, yeah, because it's like they're constantly testing the water.
You know?
Yeah, because everything is so public.
The whole process is so public.
Mm-hmm.
You
That's
know?
So true.
So who do we think is dropping an album this year?
I think definitely Cardi B, but I feel like I said that last year, but I really do think she got pregnant. But
I feel like we would have got one last year if she
hadn't got pregnant. Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's gonna drop one. I think Sweetie's dropping. And then I also think
Try to hold your breath
Lotto.
on that one.
I think Lotto's gonna drop an album this year too.
I think so too.
Not the Lotto one, the Sweetie one.
I think Nicki's gonna drop an album this year.
Ooh,
really?
I do.
Oh.
I think Nicki's gonna drop an album this year.
May I ask what I guess like piques your interest into her dropping?
I'm not interested in her dropping an album.
No, I'm saying like what is something. I guess like has she been a little bit more public to you, or
yeah, I feel like there's been a lot going on with her and Amazon. That something's gonna happen.
There has been. You're right.
Something's gonna happen.
Well, like a lot of her music's been featured in Amazon commercials.
Yep. And she keeps posting about it. She keeps posting about it. That tells me that there's something there. There's something there. Mm-hmm. Also, this documentary, you're not going to tell me that there's not something coming out with true. This.
When is that coming out?
Who the fuck knows? Who knows?
I thought it was supposed to be not next year, last year though, wasn't it?
I don't know. But I know that it's coming. And I know that I think she's going to drop an album this year. I think we're going to have some rap girl features on Beyonce's album. But
Beyonce's definitely dropping an album.
But not the ones that we think.
Like not
a
smaller
like international names? Girls.
I think smaller names, international girls. Like I think there's a better chance of there being like a Miss Banks or a Little Sims or on a Beyonce album than there being a Cardi feature on the Beyonce album.
Well, did you? This is like off subject, but someone reported that Cardi and Kanye was shooting a video in the Balenciaga store in Miami.
I'm sure they were. I don't give a damn, but I'm sure they were. I don't put it past them. I believe it. You know, he's this whole weird thing with Balenciaga. I checked out of all Kanye everything. That nigga is out of his mind, and I have no interest in it. But I'm sure they were. They both are very connected to Balenciaga right now. So if they were releasing a song, I would believe it. I would.
Mm-hmm. Who I think dropping the album this year? I think it's time for Bia to give another project, and not in the beginning of the year. I think later of the year. I think For Certain still has a little bit more fizzle.
I do
that we can get out of it. I do agree with Lotto. I honestly think Dream Doll might try and put something out this year,
but I don't think it's gonna be an album.
It's probably gonna be like an EP
like a mixtape.
It's
gonna be like 2 or 3 or 4 tracks, maybe 5.
Yeah, I do think we're just gonna get a lot of more projects in general this year, just because we didn't get that many last year. So I do also agree with Lotto, especially since they're taking her like very serious now. Like it's time to put something else out under this new name. We'll see how this stamps her as Lotto now, not Mulatto. See if we get some growth, some change. And I would like a City Girl project, and I would like it to be marketed well. I would actually like to push behind it. I would actually like to see it do something. I do wonder if Baby Tate is gonna do something because she is with a new label. Yeah. So I
think she will.
I wonder if she's gonna do something. I want Doja Cat to take a break, not because I don't want to hear anything from her. I just don't want her to burn out.
She just needs a break. Yeah, I don't think she's gonna put out an album this year.
But I want to hear some. I want to get an album from like the international girls as well. I want Shansia to actually put out an album, like a collective body of work.
Yeah,
I want something from Steph, because I think there's a lot to explore with her. So yeah, I would like to get some. Even if we don't get albums, I would like some projects, and not just projects of here's me dumping all my songs that I had in the vault. Like I do want some thought put into even if it's just a small project. Like
I agree.
I want it to make sense.
Same. We deserve that.
I do. Like we were a little. It was a little drought last year, and we don't want that for this year. Also, granted, I just think Jasmine Sullivan took over last year.
Good for her.
So honestly, I wouldn't have dropped nothing either.
You can't be too mad. You can't be too mad.
Well deserved. I would like to end this. I would like to end this with some negativity before we move on. Before we move on to our music recs and saying who I don't want to hear any more music from.
All right, let's go.
I don't know what Tay Money has on Jimmy Iovine that all her music is constantly being pushed on Apple Music. I never want to hear that bitch's voice again. I never want to hear Tay Money's voice again.
Really?
Never in my life.
Outside of Bussin', I don't know. No, an assignment because of Twitter.
I hate that song more than I can. I never want to hear Tay Money's voice again.
Oh,
I want that bitch on Apple Music. She is. Why the fuck is her shit always coming up on shuffle and I always have to thumbs down it? Bitch, I told you I don't want to hear this bitch. I don't want to hear this bitch. I don't want to hear her. So music rec time.
Wait, did you have one, Brie? Or did you have some?
I was like, no, I don't think I had anybody I was actively not trying to hear next year. Maybe, I don't know. Don't come for me, the Barb, but maybe not Nicki Minaj.
And you know what?
We're not gonna promote that part.
I don't know. I think she's giving me everything that she needed to give me at during my lifetime. I don't know. I'm okay. Like if she stopped, I'd be like, that's fine. If you have enough to write off of.
If she does a Jay-Z, kind of more so work in the background.
Yeah,
maybe do a verse
I'm cool with that.
Then.
Yeah, a freestyle just to remind people like who she is, but I think I'm good.
I think I'm good. I don't have one that I am not interested in here. I didn't think that through, but I thought that was funny, Mariah. That was good.
That was funny. You're like, I definitely don't want to hear this person going into 2022.
That was funny.
I love that. Okay. Wow. Well, thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Where My Girl's At, brought to you by Textured Air, a brand dedicated to celebrating Black girl culture, past, present, and future. If you liked what you heard, please subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. It really helps. You can find us on Twitter at WhereMyGirlsAt2 and Instagram, WhereMyGirlsAt_TH. Make sure you check out our other podcasts, Does It Hold Up?, The Blacklist, and all the other content we offer on our website, texturedair.com. Until next time.